that was one of the most spectacular pro moves I've ever seen. Like, I know for me, there is one thing that is the perfect meal between shows.
God damn it, Patrick, go get a mop. How many names have you dropped during this episode? The Working Actor NYC, that's Patrick Richwood.
Benjamin Howes.
This episode of The Working Actor NYC may contain profanity and some adult concepts, so please use your discretion.
I thought, why don't we talk about the things that we actors, as we get older and wiser, realize we must do to take care of ourselves. Some of the things are taught to us. Some of the, naturally, some of the take care of your instrument. Some of the things we have to learn by experience. And some of the things are personal to us. Maybe they're life things. Maybe they're
we've picked up along the way.
Maybe they're superstitions or rituals.
We've learned about ourselves. We figure out what it is that we need in order to get the job done.
To protect that which we do, which is our art, like to really, really, stand by it with armor and say, everybody back.
These are the boundaries.
Thing is happening. Yeah, right. Yeah. And
the other thing that you brought up, which I thought was super interesting about this, is that you were talking about how you worked with a company and you described the company as a company of thoroughbreds. Like these were elite level performers. And there was something about that company that really clicked in you. Oh, and you noticed habits and routines that those performers had.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was super interesting as well, because when you're at the highest level of anything, you're not just winging it. You have systems in place. You're not just hoping for the best. You know there are things that you can do and steps that you can follow that are going to position you better to be able to fulfill what it is that you do at the highest level. And those are the sorts of things that we learn along the way and we notice in the extraordinary people that we get to work with.
Well, that was the company I've worked with. So many amazing people. I couldn't possibly count them. There's too many to name. That all of them amaze me and
Benjamin
have dazzled me. Who?
Sounds familiar, but
no.
I wouldn't put him up there. No.
Kind of a name is that? That's for starters. He should change his name. That's the first thing to take care of himself. That was Singing in the Rain in Vero Beach at the Riverside Theater last winter. And it was one of those things where it wasn't just people that inspired me and performers who, dazzled me. It was the whole company. It was like the whole company.
Yeah.
It was exactly like being in a stable of thoroughbreds. First of all, thank God I'm past that point where I go, what am I doing here? Because I know what I bring. I bring something as well.
Yeah.
But this was a group of people who they were so committed, and they were dancers, singer, dancer, like triple threats, every one of them, triple threats. And we had among many things about that company that I was inspired by. We had our leading lady, our Kathy Selsden in Singing in the Rain. Sarah Esty turned her ankle in a performance. They were doing a famous move, going over the couch, and just rolled her ankle and thought she could continue on, but then her ankle swelled up like a softball, and they had to hold, and then they had to, and that theater has no understudies, which is a different conversation. Fortunately for us, another dazzling creature, Katie, who was in the ensemble, had done the role of Kathy Selsden in a different production, stepped in. The costumes happened to fit her. They fixed them up. It took 2 days to get it sorted out. They canceled the show. I think they canceled 2 shows, and then we were up and running. Yeah. And then they flew in a gal from named Mallory, who was a Rockette. She was just in her off time of the season. Yeah. And so she learned that show like in 2 hours because the Rockettes,
she's extraordinary. Yeah.
They're like ninjas.
Yeah.
You can't, there's nothing they don't know how to do as a dancer. Anyway, the whole point is Sarah didn't stop the motion of her journey. She kept coming to the theater as soon as she was able to get on crutches. She came to the theater. She spent the time that she would be spending getting ready and then doing the show in the adjacent rehearsal studio right there.
Yeah.
Stretching, warming, doing the, going over listening to the show, visiting with people. She never let the contextual ball of Singing in the Rain drop.
Right.
And that was one of the most spectacular pro moves I've ever seen.
Yeah. I want to point out that I feel as though a lot of what we're going to talk about, what we're talking about, these sort of habits and routines, I think dancers are especially attuned to that mindset, because if they don't maintain peak performance and practice and routine and habit, they are literally physically in danger of hurting themselves.
Yeah, they're like athletes. They must.
That's 100% true.
I learned how to do an ice bath during Singing in the Rain, and we did ice baths Sarah did they did ice baths. So much of it's mindset, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about, the feeling of being an imposter or being like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
If you don't get that shit checked at the door, I can't think of anything that could hold you up more. I mean, there are things that could hold you, the other things that could hold you up equally, but that's a mindset that gets in your way, especially when it's just like you haven't seen it. It's in your blind spot.
Oh, right. I feel for me, it's one of those things that it'll come up and I'll deal with it.
Right.
And then 2 years later, I'll be in a new situation and it'll come knocking at the door again. And so I can't decide if that means that I haven't dealt with it effectively or it just likes to keep showing up in different places. You know what I mean?
I have a theory about that.
Tell me, spill it to me. Don't hold back.
I think things like that, those kinds of ideas like, oh, I don't belong here. I'm not worthy to be here with these people or whatever. How did I get here? They're going to find me out or whatever. Of the millions of different ones, right?
There's variations on a theme, yeah.
Yeah. I think two things. One, noticing them is almost enough to disappear them in the moment.
Uh-huh.
Because you've noticed them before.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, there you are again. No,
I see you.
No, back out into the backyard. Go right back out the way you came.
Yeah.
I'll throw you some scraps. And the other thing is, I think those things are born when we're really little. Like something happens and we make it mean something about ourselves, and then boom, we're off to the races with that. That's now one of our greatest hits,
ingrained in our character, forever, never burned.
Yeah, well, except it doesn't. It seems like it's now in our bones, but it isn't. It's still just rattling around as language. Yeah. So my thing is, it's probably, even when we kick its ass, it's like a weed. It'll just kind of come back up in the garden. You just pluck it out again and they get weaker and weaker because it's just like a reverberating echo of this old thing that we've had since we were little, but it doesn't have any, it doesn't have us, it's just a weed.
We get familiar with them. We also get stronger in other areas of our lives, I think, as life goes on and we realize that we can't exist without those things being ever present. We sort of get used to them not being there. So when they show up, we're like we are more likely to be able to say, oh, I don't need you. I can get by without you.
One of the things that I find so fabulous about the theater, and a lot of my friends who have only ever done film and TV and never done theater, or done it once and just barely made it through, all of us are like athletes.
It's true.
We have to be mental athletes. We have to be physical athletes. Do a play and go up and down the 3 flights of stairs 7 times during the show to change your costume.
But it's also emotional dexterity, like being that dexterous with your emotional state so that you can use it again and again and again. And you gotta be Gumby. You gotta be all flexy. A performer that I know and love was getting their American citizenship. I believe they're originally from Canada, and in order to get your citizenship, you have to prove that you're extraordinary in your chosen field. I can't remember the exact terminology, but it's extraordinary performance or something like that. It's something that applies to athletes and to scientists and people who are the top of their field. Yeah. And he worked out that if you had been in a Broadway show, you were in the top 3% of the industry. I thought that was fascinating.
That is fascinating. Broadway is something that has always been like, like a siren song to me. I remember seeing The Color Purple, the one with the recent one.
Cynthia Erivo,
and boy, is that part hers. I went to see it with Christine Ebersole.
Oh yeah,
and we were sitting there waiting to do the show, and I was like, oh God, look at this theater.
Patrick, there's a mess on the floor behind you where you dropped that name.
I almost fell for that.
Christine Ebersole.
Yeah, we were seeing the show. We were seeing a show together. What's the big deal? Anyway, I said, God, look at this theater. She goes, I know. I go, I want so badly to be in this. And and really, and she goes,
that was French for our listeners at home. Yes,
it was supposed to be. She goes, why? And I go, why? I mean, it's the history and I go, it's easy for you to say. You've been in 700 Broadway shows. She goes, yeah, but you know as well as I do that you've worked at better theaters. You've done better contracts. You've toured. You've done, the thing. You've done. That the pipes are rusty ass pipes, and the best toilets don't work, and you and I'm like,
everything's covered in a fine layer of dust.
I know all that, but it's not any of that draws me. It's the actual building and what it holds, that vibration that it holds, and all those people that have walked on that stage we're about to see a show on
that part
today, that the greatest of our time performed in this room, and it's all still here. It's all still bouncing off the walls in a way, and that's so exciting to me. And not to mention the community, the tribe itself.
Yeah.
And so I remember thinking, that hasn't diminished for me. Have I gotten a little bit more, I don't know, casual about my view of Broadway? Because I've seen it from about both sides, and we've been around it. I've been around it for 100 years.
Yeah.
And so even though I've never done a Broadway show, I'm welcome backstage in any theater I go to. And, there's people in every show that I know, and all that jazz. And like Christine said, I've done all of it in other ways, venues and whatever. But I'm glad to say that has never diminished, because there's something about that pull that's electrifying to me.
Yeah.
So that's why for me, it's the top percentile. It's like, it's just nothing that can, nothing.
Does Christine have any pre-show rituals? Does she have any extraordinary habits that you're aware of?
She usually steps out into the alley and smokes a pipe of crack. I have no idea. I'll have to ask her. I thought that's a good question.
I mean, I know for some people, the half-hour call is not it, right? There are some people who have to be at the theater an hour before the show at least. I feel as though very few of the jobs that I have ever done have required me to be at the theater so early, because I need that time to get into the character of whatever I'm playing. So much musical theater is not written that deeply, but I do have some rituals. I hate seeing somebody's face for the first time in that day on stage. I have to do a little circuit of every dressing room just so I can clock everyone's faces before we all get on stage. I hate when I see somebody in the day for the first time on stage when we're pretending to be somebody else. For some reason, it's just a brief little moment of taking me out of where I am and taking me, So I do like to just stop by and clock each face and say a word or two Doesn't have to be deep, but for some reason, that's always been one of my things.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Interesting one. Well, for one thing, I know that she likes to take naps between shows, and so do I. I have found that when I'm doing anything, a play or a music, well, particularly a musical for some reason, I'm not much of a nap taker, but between shows, there are two things that fuel me. A nap, like a 25-minute nap, the kind of power nap where you can't go deep and you wonder when the alarm goes off, did I actually fall asleep? And then, but like 3 minutes after you've woken up, you're like full of new energy. And which Kathy Rigby is another name.
Oh God, that mess is getting bigger and bigger.
There's a pile of names down there. She taught me how to do a power nap, and they've really worked for me. And the other one is I don't get.
I'm a meditator. I'm not a napper. I'm a meditator, but similar strategy. 20 minutes
vibes. Yeah, it vibes back up. I find that really rejuvenates me physically.
Yes.
And the second thing is I'm not much of a get to the theater more than a half an hour before, unless the show dictates it. One of my colleagues, our actors said just yesterday, he said, shit, I really should not have been on the phone during half hour. He was trying to cancel a rental car, and it was really weighing on him because it was going to be expensive and he wasn't going to drive in the storm, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, and I really don't feel like I was as connected and grounded as I could have been because I was, and I go, that is so wise. Now you know. That is so smart.
Yeah.
Put the phone aside. Do not open it. Do not look at it. Don't deal with it.
Okay, we're about to go down this rabbit hole. The phone is a big one. The phone really is a big one. Now, in this case, they were actually using it for its original purpose, which is to speak to another human being on another telephone. But now we have our phones all loaded with all of these apps, a lot of which social media apps are designed to make you spend more time on them. That's literally what they're for. Every single post is designed to make you spend more time on the app. And unfortunately, a lot of that material can be triggering or emotionally high content. My blood pressure will elevate because it's designed to do that. It's designed to be inflammatory. It's designed to be provocative. And so if there's one thing I've learned is like, if I need to concentrate and focus, do not open that shit up.
Right. And then sometimes people will forget and say, like somebody said in the dressing room, the day before yesterday, Diane Keaton died.
Yes,
and
Diane Keaton. Like, what?
I didn't want to know that. I can't believe there's an icon gone. By the way, I worked with her.
There she is. She's down on the floor with Kathy Rigby and Christine Ebersol. Got it. Okay.
Anyway, Barack, I'll get to you in a minute. No, just kidding. I don't have a Barack Obama story.
No, Hillary Clinton. Okay. Anyway.
I do. I worked with Hillary Clinton. I did.
I'm going to murder you.
I did. Yeah. So I didn't want to know that she had to, even though that's news I want to know, not during the bubble of the show.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. Set the phone aside. For me, one of my rituals is set the world aside.
Yeah.
Okay, I've come to play in this world. And so for the next, for prep, I'm going to start feeling like I'm in this world.
Yeah.
And whether it's Singing in the Rain or Rocky Horror, it could be, a piece of fluff. I guess it's almost mechanical. It's like that machine needs to start, get up and running.
Yeah.
Clear out all the pipes and get ready to, and not clear out all the pipes. That's the wrong metaphor.
But everybody has their own process with it, right? One that I remember, I was doing A Man of No Importance down at Classic Stage Company. And because of the space limitations of that entire theater, so we could only use the stage to warm up in. And there was certainly no dance requirement in a John Doyle show, but I mean, certainly the musicians needed to warm up and tune, and people would warm up their voices. William Humans, the original Dr. Dillerman from Wicked on Broadway, was in that production, and he would give himself a ballet bar before every half hour.
Oh.
He'd be there doing his own full
no, that's a great one.
ballet bar, just his way of getting his body lithe, limber, flexible, ready for anything. Because there was no dance requirement in the show, but that was his way of focusing his mind and attaching his body to his mind, I think. I mean,
you cannot not do a better show when your body, when you have spoken to your, you've had a communion with your body, your instrument, and said,
made the connection.
Hey, here we go, right? I one time on tour with Peter Pan, Howard McGillen was
drop it. There it is on the floor. Yep.
Was Captain Hook, and I was Mr. Smee, and we just fell into fast friendship. And delightful human being. Was just a delightful, lovely human being. Anyway, I adore him. And one day we decided to go to Bikram yoga because we didn't know what it would be. And before a matinee.
Before a matinee? What the fuck were you thinking?
I didn't know what it was. I really didn't know what it was, how rigorous it was. And we went, and we were so overcooked noodles by the time
overcooked noodles.
We were like, okay. But then for the evening show, both of us were like, I've never had so much energy on this. This was wow. And there's things that you learn because of just simply experience and age. Like for me,
yeah, I'm
not gonna allow myself not to get a good night's sleep before I have a performance,
right?
Ever again. I mean, I guess it'll happen because it's life, but.
Well, and now that you've stopped doing heroin, I mean, that's a big.
It's really hard. Something has to take the place of it. It's not like it's just, you can't, nature abhors a vacuum, Benjamin. I now know that's not just a thing.
You can't just muscle your way through that anymore. It has, there are consequences.
It's fucking with me. There are serious consequences.
Yeah.
It never used to happen.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't get a good night's sleep, my brain says, gone fishing.
Gone fishing. What about dietary stuff? Do you find there's dietary stuff that you have to pay attention to these days that impact your performance? I know a lot of people are like, I can never eat a heavy meal between shows. I can only eat this between shows. Yeah. I'm a little bit like, I don't eat a lot of heavy food anyway. I guess maybe that's the difference. But
you eat pretty healthily, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Jerry Mitchell talks about the Broadway diet. It's not an actual diet where you are trying to do something except just keep your body in peak physical condition. And so many Broadway performers just do it naturally because that's what they have to do.
Like, I know for me, there's one thing that is the perfect fuel meal between shows. It's a Cobb salad. Because it's got the exact
protein, fat, fiber.
Protein, fat, fiber, vegetable thing. And if I could, I would eat it every day, except I love food too much and I want to try to. So I've found variations on the theme, but it's always usually a salad.
Yeah.
And then I eat like a pig after the show. I'm always starving.
Why is that? I'm not starving, but I do feel like I deserve a treat. So it's always the cheese and the crackers and
I'm always starving after a show.
It's just
I don't eat a lot before a show.
The other thing that I've noticed vocally, speaking about diet, is that I am a new fan of Entertainer's Secret, the glycerin spray, and Pine Brothers, the glycerin lozenges. I find those things keep me so vocally well lubricated that I am a devotee now.
You heard it here, folks. He said it.
I'm well lubricated.
God, thank God.
I'm sitting on a secret.
I couldn't listen to that squeaky, rusty hinge going back and forth every time you moved any longer. I couldn't do it. I was going to have to say something.
Listeners, viewers, please share with us what your tips and tricks are, what your rituals and routines are for helping you perform at your peak. Please share them with us here on YouTube in the comments down below, or send them over to the DMs of our Instagrams at The Working Actor NYC. You can check out our website, designed by Michael Burrell. And if you want to get your website designed by Michael Burrell, there's a link on the bottom right-hand corner of the page there where you can get in contact with him. And if you mention The Working Actor NYC, he'll give you a discount. How about that?
And also, you can, and how about that? But also, you can, on the website, you can find merch.
You get some Working Actor NYC merch
right now, but that's there.
It's merch.
I'll wear mine next time.
And I got to tell you, the hoodie is so comfortable. The first 3 wears, it sheds a little. You'll find some of the fluff on the inside on your t-shirt or whatever it is you're wearing underneath. First 3 wears, but it's so comfortable. I'm obsessed with this hoodie.
Soft and squishy.
I'm so obsessed with it. God damn it, Patrick! Go get a mop. How many names have you dropped during this episode? Ugh.
Huh? You just dropped the biggest name of all.
Who did I drop?
When you said, God damn it.
Oh, God damn it. God.
You better pick that one up. You never know.